Miranda Wells spends her days saving lives in the ICU, dreaming of one day moving up to the surgical department. She's kind, she's gentle, she cries when patients die. But in a few short weeks, this same woman will do something so calculated, so cold-blooded, it will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about her. Her colleague Nancy doesn't get the ambition. Assisting in surgery is brutal work, long hours, high stakes, zero room for error. But Miranda wants it. She's wanted it for a long time. Today, though, the mood is heavy. One of their patients has just passed away, and Miranda takes it personally. She always does. Every loss hits her like it's her own. What's strange is, the patient's son, the same young man who spent months caring for his dying mother, doesn't seem the least bit sad. The nurses exchange looks. Something feels off. But they let it go. Because Miranda has bigger things on her mind. She's going on a date tonight, her first, in a long, long time. She promises the girls she'll spill every detail tomorrow. After her shift, she swings by the dry cleaners to pick up her dress. Simple enough, until the pen on the counter refuses to work. And here's the thing about Miranda, she has this quirk. She psychologically cannot use someone else's pen. It's a small detail. Remember it. It matters more than you think. This time, she forces herself through it. Next stop, her father's place. But her dad's hyperactive dog has other plans, and within minutes, her brand new dress is ruined. Father and daughter shake it off and head to a cafe. Miranda's planning to buy a new house, and her dad, ever the protective one, wants to make sure no realtor takes advantage of his girl. Then a small moment that will haunt everything that comes next. Miranda steps into the restroom, and a waitress she knows rushes in, panicked. Someone's choking. Can't breathe. Miranda bolts. On the way, she bumps shoulders with a guy. Barely a glance. She has a life to save. And she does. Cool, calm, expert hands. The man breathes again. She doesn't realize it yet. But that stranger she brushed past, he noticed her. Miranda tours her new house and falls in love. At the old one, she throws herself into her favorite hobby, baking cakes. At a party with friends, she brings one she made herself, and everyone's blown away. Her friend Darlene asks the obvious question, when is she finally going on that date with Kevin, her husband's colleague? Miranda smiles. Soon. Very soon. The next day at home, she hears footsteps on the porch. She opens the door, and there's a guy standing there. She assumes it's Kevin. There's also a package waiting for her. Without a second thought, she invites him in, apologizes for not being ready, and asks him to wait. Big mistake. She hurries upstairs, freshens up, comes back down. Before heading out, she wants to open the package she's been waiting forever for, a set of beautiful pens. Kevin picks one up, admiring it. Miranda, a little flustered, says he was supposed to come later. Could he maybe leave and come back? He doesn't move. Instead, he locks the door. Her stomach drops. She threatens to call the police. It means nothing to him. She fights. She struggles. It doesn't matter. What happens next is unthinkable. And when he's finished, he runs. Minutes later, the real Kevin shows up at her door, flowers in hand, smile on his face, and finds her bleeding, broken, barely conscious. He calls the police immediately. He tells them he's never even been on a blind date before. He just prays she'll survive, and she barely does. At the hospital, every bruise is photographed, every injury documented. When the officer gently asks if she knew her attacker, Miranda remembers the cafe, the guy she bumped into, the one who watched her save a life. His name is William Finn. The next morning, he shows up at work hoping to get an advance on his paycheck. Instead, he finds the police waiting. Fingerprints, booking, locked up. Meanwhile, Miranda's father Mitchell goes to her house, the crime scene, and barely holds it together. He scrubs every surface, erases every trace, so that when his daughter comes home, nothing will remind her of that day. She's discharged soon after, but she isn't the same. She sinks into depression and moves in with her dad. To make things worse, she can't even sell her old house. No one wants to buy a place where something like that happened. The realtor suggests planting roses, lots of them, to somehow soften the home's dark reputation, because apparently flowers fix trauma. Miranda and Mitchell both know it's ridiculous. Eventually, she gathers the courage to live alone again. She goes back to work. She tries, but her hands, her steady, gifted hands now tremble. Tasks that once felt effortless now feel impossible. Her colleagues, sensing her pain, throw her a small farewell and give her a gift in honor of her long-awaited transfer to surgery. She accepts it with a smile, but the smile is hollow. Because at home, even decorating a cake has become too much for her shaking hands. One day, her supervisor gently calls her out. She seems distracted, unfocused. That's when Miranda drops the bomb. She's not transferring to surgery anymore. The supervisor is stunned. Miranda had worked years for this. She becomes irritable, rude, even which isn't like her at all. The Miranda everyone knew is slipping away, and something darker is rising to take her place. Then one morning, she picks up a pen, one of her beloved pens, and writes a letter to William in prison. And for the first time in months, she feels relief. Nancy notices instantly. Miranda looks lighter, brighter. She's smiling again. But her relief is short-lived. The letter is returned to sender. She sends it again. In the meantime, she throws herself into redecorating her home, trying to bury the nightmare under fresh paint. Her father helps. Her letter comes back a second time. Then, one evening, the phone rings. Her dad. His beloved dog Benny is sick. But that same night, something else arrives. William finally writes back. Soon, Miranda goes to visit him in prison. He's confused. Why is she there? She tells him honestly she doesn't know. William begs for her forgiveness. He says he truly, deeply regrets what he did. Then, out of nowhere, Miranda asks him if he's being fed properly. He blinks, confused. What kind of question is that? Meanwhile, Benny, the dog that never liked strangers, suddenly adores Miranda. Mitchell is stunned. His daughter has the magic touch. She visits William again. This time, the conversation flows. There's flirting. Actual flirting. When she asks what he's good at, William admits he's always loved fixing things. He says it's kind of like what she does in the hospital, putting things back together. Cute. If you forget what he did to her. Miranda starts watching Benny more often while her dad's at work. Benny's old. Mitchell worries constantly. Then one day, Miranda dresses up, excited for her prison visit, only to be told Mr. Finn can't come. She's crushed. At their next meeting, William explains he'd been in solitary. A fight. Christmas arrives. Miranda spends it with her father and Benny, quietly, peacefully. In prison, William is a different animal, cruel to his cellmate Randy, furious that the man dared to touch his things. His letters, his postcards from Miranda. Their bond deepens. Miranda tells him she lost her mother young, that her father is the only family she has. William confesses he lost his mother too. He often wonders if things would have been different if she'd lived. Miranda tells him softly it's never too late to change. Then one day, William is nervous. He has news. He's being released, early, parole. Miranda's face doesn't quite know what to do. William tells her he'll miss their visits. He'll understand if she never wants to see him again. He says if he could turn back time, he never would have done it. All he wants now is to make things right. And then the phone rings. Her father, devastated. Benny is gone. Mitchell is inconsolable. Benny was his best friend. The cruelest part? Miranda had just finally bonded with him. She helps her father bury the dog in the backyard, orders Chinese food, and they really talk. Mitchell admits he regrets not spending more time with his family. Miranda reassures him. He worked himself to the bone for them. She could never blame him. Vacation time approaches. While her co-workers plan getaways, Miranda wants to stay home and finish renovations. A courier shows up at the hospital with flowers for her. Her co-workers press who's the admirer. Miranda lies smoothly. Just her dad. They're from William. They've been talking on the phone. They haven't met in person since his release. Miranda isn't sure she's ready. She definitely doesn't want anyone to know about them. But William gets tired of waiting. One day, he simply shows up at her house. She's thrown off, but hides it well. He says he just wants to make things right. And from that day forward, he starts helping her renovate her home. Sweet, isn't it? Almost like they've both let go of the past. Almost. One day, William walks into Mitchell's hardware store to buy paint. Mitchell freezes. His stomach turns. He recognizes him instantly, but William doesn't recognize him at all. And the moment William leaves, Mitchell notices something chilling. The paint William bought is the exact same color as the paint on Miranda's porch. He races to her house and demands answers. Miranda calmly tells him she's giving William a chance at redemption. She refuses to spend her life consumed by hate. She's moving forward. Mitchell is horrified. He refuses to accept it. That evening, William calls. He didn't come today because he saw her father lingering near the house. Maybe, he says, they shouldn't keep doing this. Maybe nothing he does will ever be enough. Miranda, cool as ice, taunts him. He's really scared of a 70-year-old man? The next day, he comes back. Before he picks up a paintbrush, Miranda offers him a glass of lemonade. He drinks. Minutes later, he feels sick. Really sick. He asks to use the bathroom. She lets him inside. And then everything goes dark. He wakes up on a bed. Can't move. Miranda is there, hovering over him, playing nurse. But something's wrong. She's wearing the dress. The same dress she'd planned to wear for her date with Kevin. On the day he destroyed her life. He tries to move. He can't. That's when it hits him this was planned. All of it. Miranda smiles and calmly tells him she laced his lemonade with antifreeze, just like she did to her father's precious dog, Benny. Yes, you heard that right. Sweet Miranda, the woman who cried over every patient, poisoned her own father's dog, just to practice. William begs. He pleads. She's a nurse. She's supposed to save lives, not take them. But today, William is her special patient. He passes out again. When he wakes, Miranda gently offers him water. Then the doorbell rings. William, trapped in the basement this entire time, starts screaming, begging, "Please help me." Miranda moves fast. It's just a courier, a package. Inside, a brand new set of pens, of course. She returns to William and calmly tells him she's removed his arm. He screams. She laughs. Cold, empty, ominous. This is her revenge. For the tremors, for the surgery dream she can never have, for every piece of her life he shattered. He refuses to believe it. He can't. But Miranda is ruthless. Sometimes the sweetest face hides the darkest heart. Then she digs through his backpack and realizes something pathetic. He had been expecting more, something romantic. Was he really stupid enough to think she'd forgiven him? And here's the final twist. She hadn't taken his arm at all. She took the thing that makes him a man. William screams into the void, broken beyond repair. And Miranda? She stands there, victorious. In the final scene, we see her visiting her father. She looks him in the eyes, she apologizes, and gently, she tells him, "William will never come back again."